in Sudlersville. Given the $17 million operational shortfall, and that this would add $1.5 million in new capital debt service next year, also looming out there that insult to injury, Kent Island would be reassessed in the next several years, probably a 20% average revenue hit to Centerville. Do you think it was a good idea to build that school at this time?
Who do you want the question?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Part of my thought process when it comes to budgetary and spending priorities is you have to take a look at the economic strength of the vehicle before you add aftermarket products, if you will, using an automobile as an example. But was this the right time to do that? I would have to strongly say no. I don't think I would have spent the monies that way. I think we have to prioritize, again, our budget and our spending priorities. That would have not have been something that I would have chosen to go forward with.
Okay. Another question?
I'll ask this question, start with Bob Foley. I know you're aware of Kent Island and Southern Kent Island and Route 8 South and all that and the issues. You're probably very familiar with the issues of the infrastructure, the sewer, possible schools, development issues, and you know what it's like living on Kent Island. And I'm just wondering what your feelings are on that issue.
Okay, here's a picture last week of Kent Island, taken from the overpass at Route 8, and it goes back to the horizon line, which is about 6 miles of traffic back there, just on a normal weekend. My issue with the Route 8 sewer is as follows. One, I'm on the DPW Citizens Advisory Board with 13 other people, and it's headed by Carl Perdonsi. We have spent 3-4 years on this project, and thousands of pages, and as George O'Donnell knows, there's study after study after study on the shelves at the Public Works Advisory Board. Unless there is a proven, indisputable health emergency, I would not be in favor of the Route 8 South project. If it is an indisputable health emergency, then again, it's like funding the teacher's retirement. We don't have much choice. We have to look for money. When the initial sewer plant went in 1982, my home, one of the first ones installed, and everything came a grant from the EPA. As you well know, we don't have any EPA source funds coming for a long, long time. The Federal Budget Office just declared today they don't see us getting out of this jam that we're in until 2014, which means that those of us who are going to be elected are going to have to deal with these issues for the next 4 years, not a quick fix kind of situation. Fortunately, I'm not an accountant, but we employ a lot of accountants. We employ chief budget officers, chief financial officers, planning officers, all the way down the line. So I'm not going to tinker with it. I just want to find out what we need to do to get out of the situation. Thank you.
Mr. Crum.
Yeah, the state has mandated and funded best available technology in BNR septic systems replacement for failing systems. I think until the state changes their philosophy and wants to fund something else, that we should stay with the state mandated solution to the problem.
Yeah.
I think that the money that the state allocated is quickly running out. I know there's a waiting list to get that money. I don't want to be on the edge of having somebody get hurt or sick from this. I think the problems that this thing can cause to our economy. Granted, if we do the septic system down Route 8, there's a lot of fears about growth. I don't know that this growth is going to happen the day after we approve this stuff, if we find money to do this. But I think the whole thing comes down to a nutshell. There is no money federally, there is no money locally, and there's no money in the state. We need to find an alternative to that. We need to find something that can address that issue, and we probably need to find that fairly quickly.
Thank you. We have time for one more question. Yes, sir.
Jay Falsett from Millington. I'll address this question to the at-large candidates. there's been a lot of talk tonight about economic development, yet agriculture is the dominant economic engine in the county. Given our proximity to Washington, Baltimore, New York, Philadelphia, I'm wondering if any of you have given any thought to other types of agriculture and how we might promote that in this county, going beyond just grain and taking advantage of the unique region that we have here. And I guess what I mean by that is things like viticulture and that sort of thing. And if you have given some thought to it, how would you attract it to this county?
I'll start if you want. I think we've had agriculture here for quite a few years, and we've not been able to attract that type of business, or businesses to add on to that. I think looking at alternatives for agriculture, while I'm not a farmer, I think that's something that behooves us. I think there's enough farm organizations around that they probably research this problem or what alternatives. Bringing business into this county that can actually help and not hurt the farms, I think should be paramount to us.
Foley?
Yes, okay. I'm all in favor of catfish farms. If the farmers want to try and do it and gobble up the chicken waste, I think that's going to add a lot to our revenue base. What I do foresee is that I spent 5 days setting up at the county fair here, the 4-H fair, and I was placed in the crops pavilion. So I learned more about farming in 5 days than I've probably known in the last 50 years. These guys face a real hardship. The farmers, of course, grow a lot of their crops. You know where they go? They go to the chicken producers. So if you hurt one, you hurt the other. And there's an open invitation from South Carolina, anytime, anywhere, to take the major poultry producers out of the state of Maryland and out of the state of Delaware, and they'll be happy to have them down in South Carolina. So we have to be very, very careful what we're going to do with our farmers. I think we should let these guys alone, let them stay with the ag levels that they have. The TDRs and so on are a real hot button issue. It's about as hot as the teachers' pensions. So we need to talk to the farmers more. Thank you.
Mr. Frum?
Yeah, certainly supporting the farmers is a big part of the core plan that I talked about tourism, the seafood industry and farms. The chicken industry employs 31,000 people on the Delmarva Peninsula, and most of the grain goes to the chicken producers, and then of course we have the chicken processors. It's kind of a three-legged stool. If we lose any one of those, we lose the other two. So it's very, very, very important to protect the farm and to protect that market, because you're not going to lose all the farms all at one time. What you're going to do is lose the market. Once you lose the market, the farmer doesn't know where to sell his product.
I understand why people think the farmer's going to have rights to their own property. You have right property. You have a lot of rights to your property. They should have rights to theirs. And what if the grain stops? What if the chicken industry moves out? Are they going to be able to sell their farm? Or are we going to sit on top of it and say, no, you can't do it? What is happening to us as a people? Personal and property rights, where in the world is it going? I don't understand. It goes back to what we originally thought, when I originally said at the beginning, we need balance. We need balance. Each side, we know who we are. We got the left and we got the right. We got to come here and get something done. In order to do that, we've got to work together. These special projects and these anti-this and pro-that, and I mean, I hope you believe I'm somewhere in the middle. I want to see it happen that way. Again, I'd like to thank you folks for coming tonight, and Mr. Sylvester, I would have loved to answer his question about his rights and stuff.
I would really love to say that the plans that this county has as far as more retail, more storefronts, more restaurants, is going to be an advantage to us, but I really don't think so, because we're going to have to draw from other counties for our employees. That's not the type of jobs we need in this. Not one of these jobs is going to go out there and buy a home off of somebody or live in their house. I have 2 children in the school system. We have 600 kids approximately in our high schools. If those 600 kids get out, they marry each other, that's 300 new homes we have a year. We're building roughly 50 homes a year. I want my kids to stay and be raised here and have a job and have a future in Queen Anne County. You can do those things without impacting the way we run our lives. I think the farmers are doing a great job. I think they know their business far better than I'll ever know it. I think as far as researching other things that they can do, I think they're very, very good at it. I don't think that they need me to tell them how they have to do that. Our school systems, I touched on that a little bit, I think they're some of the finest. My kids have gone to Graysonville Elementary and Nelsonville Middle School, and I can tell you, without education, they have never had a better group of teachers or educators. The other thing would be the personal property rights. I really defy anybody to tell me that somebody wants to come down and change that my 5 acre mortgage and sell it so I can let 3 other people live there. Thank you, and I will. Thank you.
Mr. Foley.
Yes, ma'am. Closing remarks. I looked at the Queen Anne's County budget. FY 2000, we had 372 people on staff, including 4 contractual, and now we have 522, including 18 contractual. That's roughly 150 additional people. I don't need that many in a period. One of the visions I have for Queen Anne's County, and especially Kent Island, which I love dearly, I'd like us to explore or re-explore high-speed ferry system. This would eliminate some of the traffic year-round. It could probably run 10 months out of the year unless we had a really, really cold winter. The high-speed ferry could come in up